Oh, hello. Welcome to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. I'm Emily, and today we are talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we get into that, if you are not already subscribed, please consider doing so. I'm covering Beverly Hills, Southern Charm, and Atlanta, and soon to be covering Potomac and Salt Lake City as well. If you're already subscribed, love ya, mean it. All right, let's get into it after the intro. My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. Well, I have some fun. I don't know if you guys all saw, but you know, this homeless, not toothless situation. It got a failing grade. Let me look it up. So there's something called Charity Navigator. And so it was Face Reality 16 posted about it on her Instagram. And so for the sake of notes, I Googled the charity score is a failing score. The overall score is calculated from multiple beacon scores: 85% finance and accountability, 10% leadership and adaptability, and 5% culture and community. Okay, so under finance and accountability, the score is 46 out of 100. The score entered by Homeless Not Toothless is a failing score. This V6 of the finance and accountability score provides a baseline measure of an organization's health, including the indicators listed in the report below. And let's see what it shows us. Board composition gets 0 out of 25 points. Independent audit or financial review gets 0 out of 20 points. Let's see. Conflict of interest, 0 out of 3 points. It's missing. Let's see. 0 points for program expense. Trying to see if there's something I can actually read and understand. IRS published data. IRS forms. Looks like they haven't filed anything with the IRS since 2019.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Yeah. So this isn't a real charity.
Oh, no. Why would they? Oh,
so
no.
Okay. So, but I want to address the fact I get that it's like, oh, how dare you make fun of a charity? But this is a worthy cause because, as Pia discussed, dental work is not just a cosmetic thing. It's a vital form of healthcare. But to call it Homeless Not Toothless is actually kind of it's a very
offensive.
It's diminishing. It's offensive. It's kind of, it really takes away from what the cause is.
Yeah.
And so to call and then when they kept saying toothless, not homeless, I'm like, well, that is imagine there was a charity for toothless people that were not homeless. They have homes, but they just couldn't afford to get their teeth done. I guess that's kind of a worthy cause, but that's how ridiculous this sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. At first I was like, not this episode, but the other episodes, when Kyle first, actually, I think she was the first one to make fun of the name because Kyle's just a shady person.
Yes.
I couldn't even think about how ridiculous the name was because Kyle was just being a hater in general. The charity could have been named something amazing, but it's Dorit's charity and it's not about her. And she would have said some type of jab, guaranteed. But then as it really sank in, the name is awful. And it doesn't really explain properly what the charity is supposed to, in my opinion, do. So yeah. And I would get into it, but
yeah.
I'm on board with the ladies with them and their frustration with the name and remembering it.
And it also just kind of proves that like Dorit didn't really look into it. Sharon Stone just knocked on her door and was like, you really should get involved with this charity. And she's like, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. When she first said it last episode about the charity, and she said, you know, I live next door to Sharon Stone and she came to my door. I was like, Dorit, it's kind of like the Jamie Lee Curtis situation for Kyle's thing. A famous person was on her doorstep and she literally could have been selling her shit in a bag.
That's exactly it.
And she would have been like, chic.
It's so chic.
It's so chic.
Because it's the charm of Dorit, but also her downfall that she's just so excited by things that are presented to her that she doesn't. I kind of can fall into this category. Like I get so overly excited about things, which is why I have to run it by more pragmatic people. That's why I do it on purpose. I know this about myself.
I'm 100% the same way. So it's not, I'm not like, I am faulting her because you're a grown up and you put this on national TV. So you should know more about it. And there's time and time again that all of your friends and people on your network are getting in trouble for not like doing their due diligence or their research. So, you know, this is on you, Dorit, but I can understand your initial like belief that this is a real charity because like Sharon Stone, of course, wouldn't like be putting her name on anything that's like not legit, right? I think that's probably where she was. Well, I think that's where she's coming from. Is Sharon Stone?
I think that's also the most ridiculous thing. Sharon Stone is notoriously wild.
That's true.
It's Sharon. I think that's the point. It's like it's Sharon Stone, Dorit. Like it's Sharon's. That's your first clue.
Sharon Stone.
But she's like, what? We love Sharon. It's like, no, we love Sharon, but Sharon's notoriously nuts.
Yeah. So like
and acting up.
Yeah, so you meet a boo-boo.
Oops.
Oopsie doopsie.
You went all the way with it.
And this is the worst part about it. Kyle is going to be kind of right about it. She was kind of right to not make fun of it. She wasn't right to make fun of it, but she was like, what kind of charity is this? Like kind of somehow still was right. I hate to say it. Damn.
Well, speaking of Kyle, after the whole like Rinna meltdown, Dorit's like, I have a cake for Kyle. Should we bring it out? And they're like, yes. And I find it really funny that they clearly wanted to show off the fact that they got the rights to sing the birthday songs. They're like, oh, we're going to sing the entire birthday song. I was like, okay, showing off.
You know,
it's always a big deal when they can sing. Maybe it's not anymore.
No, it is. It is.
Right?
It is a big deal. And I know that. That's one of my like fun facts that I like harbor in my brain, but I didn't even like comprehend that they were doing it.
Thank you for pointing. Realize though, is it still a big deal? Haven't we started to see it more often?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm acting like I'm smart, but maybe I'm not being smart.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't sing happy birthday.
Listeners weigh in because I feel like we've seen happy birthday. By the way, if it's ever my birthday and people want to sing happy birthday, please don't.
Do you feel awkward and you don't know what to do?
It's too long. It's too long of a song. And for you to wait for everyone to finish, it's also no one sings it well because it's a really hard, the range on it's huge. It's like you go from really low to really high. It goes on and you're just supposed to sit there until they're done.
See, wrap it up. I have a friend that can sing really well, and she is really good at.
Oh yeah, if you got someone who can do that,
the person to like level it,
take
out.
It there. Yeah, okay.
But I too feel awkward when people. I've always felt awkward when people sing me happy birthday, and I kind of bury my face.
Oh yeah,
as far as my eyes can go into the cake until it's over.
Oh no, I just would like you to bring the cake out and be like happy birthday, and that do not start singing that song. I would cry as a kid.
Oh no.
Full tears, too much attention, too overwhelming. I'm like, what do you want me to do? My parents would have to be like, don't sing happy birthday to Emily.
I only cried once when a group of people sang happy birthday to me, but it was straight up bullying. And it was in my music class and my teacher couldn't pronounce my name. She always says, she always called me Page, but my classmates knew how to pronounce my name. And she was like, everybody, we're going to be singing happy birthday to Page. 1, 2, 3, piano, full piano. And everyone just could not wait. They're like, happy birthday, Page.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
I sat there like just tears flowing, like, and it is long. It is long.
So they just kept going while you were crying?
I silent cried.
Oh my God, Pia, that's a harrowing story.
I silent, like no sound.
Oh my God. I need
made me stronger. Okay.
I need to find every single one of those people and be like, look at what Pia is now.
Okay? Honestly, I'm friends with them on Facebook because I went to a very small Catholic school. I went to the same school with these people from like first grade. I graduated high school. So I actually am friends with every last one of those motherfuckers.
You're still friends with them?
On Facebook.
Oh, you're right. That doesn't count. Okay. PK was talking about some crypto thing and it was really awkward. He was making everyone uncomfortable because no one wanted to hear about it. Yeah. And they're all like, we're really successful, not like what you're talking about.
Yeah, like fake moving money around.
Right. And then he looks over to Mauricio and he's like, as much as you are the king of real estate, you're going to have now to bow down to the emperor. And Mauricio goes, of what? And he goes, of real estate. Oh God, it was
it's just so laughable when people think that they can just like go into someone else's like space and be like, I'm going to take it over with, I have no like background in this, I'm just going to take it over. I know he was joking.
But also, like, but don't do that to yourself because now we're all going to make fun of you.
Yeah. And Mauricio, like, kind of wanted to roast him, but he was like, I'm going to keep it cute.
It's like, I thought you were the emperor of rock or something.
And then he's like, oh, I like that.
And we're like, yeah, good job, Mauricio. Help him out.
Yeah. Because I think Mauricio was like, first of all, don't even come near. I have a Netflix show coming out, you bitch.
Yeah. I was like, sure, you're gonna do that in what? Because like, Mauricio's like, I've been hustling for like a decade, you piece of shit. Like, yeah, are you like, seriously about to try to do that to me?
Yeah, like shut your mouth.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna stuff this down where I stuff all of my feelings. Because Mauricio, Mauricio somewhere there's actual things lying dormant. Mauricio just never lets any of his true feelings out.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right, now we're gonna go into this opening scene. And Pia, I have written out, Pia, what you will see in these show notes here. Okay. And listeners, viewers, I don't ever really discuss my show notes because there's just show notes. Who cares? I spent more time on these show notes than I've ever spent because I found the dialogue of the opening scene here at Dorit's charity event and then at the disco fight. Well, let's call it that. To be like, it was like writing, like it was like scripted because it was very fascinating to me. As much as we don't like Rena and Erica and like them, that whole dynamic, it was like a comedy, this opening scene. And I like that Garcelle recognized the comedy pretty quickly.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He didn't fall into it and like give it weight, which was very nice. Cause like Sutton will play along and will like get emotionally invested Garcelle did not. Yeah. Garcelle recognized real quick. So I have 8 pages of typed up notes. I never have 8 pages.
Oh, I didn't even, this is 8 pages?
8 fucking pages.
My God.
Because it's like I wrote out so much of the dialogue. I don't know if I'll do all of the dialogue, but and feel free if we want, like Pia, I may ask you to like, let's see if we want to play a little bit, but I found it to be so funny. But before that, the whole Rinna Garcelle thing happens, they get to talk about Crystal's eating disorder. Because Rinna's just had her meltdown and she goes, the Sutton thing just really triggered that stuff about my mom. But I feel like there's deeper stuff going on in the group. Thank you, Rinna.
She was really able to gather herself so quickly to start stirring the pot again.
Yes. Garcelle, this is a very separate. I'm just fascinated by what's happening with her makeup. She's got like
oh, yeah. They didn't
what is that?
I don't think that
it's like black.
Well, that's her contour. But I don't think they blended it out well.
It is the worst. I'm like, I want to just take my makeup brush real quick and just go in and like.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed it too, and I was like, ooh, they just like she did not buff it out good. I've done that before. I was like, been there.
It looks like her hairline.
Yeah,
that they didn't.
Yep, they did not buff it out.
It's driving me nuts.
I know. I noticed it too. You were not alone in looking at it.
Staring.
I was like, damn, they did not buff that out.
Bad.
Okay.
But Garcelle realizes that the poor guests of the charity are still like stuck there. And she goes, you guys do not have to stay for this. Like you're welcome to.
I would have been like, please let me stay.
That's exactly what I would have said. But they did look traumatized. They did look like they were like, I don't want to be here. At least the doctor's wife was like, please get me out of here. Yeah. So I was like, you suck. Ooh. Like, I would have been like, oh, no, I'm totally fine.
I know. I'd be like, please let me stay. Please. What do I have to do?
The first thing that out of my mouth would have been like, but I can stay, right? Okay, cool. Like, it's okay if I say, okay, cool. And so Crystal's like, all right, I would like to address my eating disorder. And this was the clip that we played last week. And she's like, just so we're clear, I've seen someone since I was 13. And that's when Kyle goes, well, do you think you're seeing the right people? And I shut the fuck up. And then Erica, we've already addressed this, but then Erica and her confessionals, like, go get someone that can help you. Put this to bed. Be done with it. Again, we've already addressed how much we hate this clip. So, okay, moving on. And then Sutton goes, well, I had a rough day on Saturday. And that was, I believe she's referring to Rinna's wine tasting. So then Rinna goes, you did? And Sutton gives her a look like, yeah. Like, hi. And Sutton says, I didn't like being called a liability. And she talks about, she's like, well, I didn't say this, but I got a call from an attorney. And this attorney thought that I had information. And Erica does this nod like she's like, yep, I knew that was coming. Yep, sure knew that. And they're like, well, they wanted more information, but she's like, I don't know, because I hired a litigator. And in Sutton's confessional, she's like, and I don't know, lawyers are very expensive. And you know who would know that? Erica and Tom.
She's not lying.
Erica goes fucking crazy. The way she responds. She's like, you said that shit. You did. Okay, girl, you need to take it down a fucking notch.
Right? Like, relax.
I like when Sutton gets into this mode where like anyone can be yelling at her, but she kind of just stays. She's like, what I learned is Erica has a lot of lawsuits in front of her. I like when she like anyone could be screaming at her, but she just kind of stays doing her sassy thing.
Yes. Yes. It's her trademark at this point.
It is. It's like when she did the book.
Yeah.
Like she just, and you are a liability to all of us. And she doesn't give a shit. And I get it. This was a savage thing to do, but this is what we want housewives to do.
Oh, yeah. No,
they do on every other franchise.
No, the thing is, this was completely valid for her to, I'm sorry, it is savage, but it was valid as well because Erica made the ultimate mistake. You can't make such a big statement like Sutton is a liability when you have all of these things. It's in it that you don't want brought up. It's kind of like what they were trying to say about Denise. Like if she did all that stuff, like then she shouldn't have come on the show. So like it's the same situation. So we're allowed to talk about it, right? Like
it's
you can't keep changing the rules.
It's like when Bethany went, that's rich. When Ramona was like, she's trying to say that like Bethany wants the press and Bethany wants to go to all these events and be seen. It's like, Ramona, you're saying that? Ramona, that's rich. It's like of all things for Erica to say.
Yeah.
I'm a liability.
Yeah. Like honestly, if anybody else, even Rena said that Sutton was a liability.
Even Rena.
Like then it would have been a different thing. We could even debate it more and like,
yep.
But Erica saying that Sutton's a liability is so rich. Such a lie. That was a liability to herself by saying that, because now she opened Pandora's box.
And the part that's so frustrating as viewers is that we've got the most juicy storyline right in front of us that we never get to talk about. Of all the Housewives franchises, maybe besides Salt Lake City, we've got the juiciest, most exciting Housewives storyline that we don't ever talk about. They all defend her. They all like protect her. And we just have to talk about everything else.
They protect her too. Like, it's so, I get Rinna because I feel like she's wrapped up in it in some way.
Totally.
But I just don't know what everyone else's grip on Erica is, especially since they just kind of started liking her about 2 years ago.
Dorit, like Dorit, Kyle, there's got to be something else in there too. They got to be wrapped up in it too, because they're too protective of it as well.
Yeah, there's something dark that it's like, I feel like it's like those classic movies, like I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they all did something bad. Yeah. So now they are loyal to each other because they need to keep continuously covering up the secrets, or How to Get Away with Murder. Like, things just keep happening, so they have to keep covering for each other, but they secretly all hate each other because it's like they're all in this like dark web of lies.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
What's the lie though?
So then now Erica's blaming Sutton for the fact that she was asking questions. I told you to be quiet.
Yeah.
She goes into a place. And then Dorit, don't you think it's because you were the only one who questioned her and that's why they came after you? So Garcelle says she wasn't the only one who was asking questions. And so thank God they did a montage of all of them asking questions on camera.
Absolutely. And also, it just goes back to my point, like all of our points. God damn, all of our points of why is it when anybody else chimes in for Erica on Erica's quote unquote side to explain what she means, that it's just conversation. But when Garcelle does it, it's her being Sutton's bodyguard or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't really like that whole connotation that like she like Garcelle, this Black woman, is working for this Southern white woman. Like she don't work for Garcelle. I mean, she doesn't work for Sutton. Garcelle does not work for Sutton. She is her peer and her friend. She's being a friend. And you guys can also be a friend to your fraudulent fool, your Fox Force 5, all you want. But like, so can Garcelle can be a friend to whomever she wants to be a friend to. And I feel like Garcelle has stuck up from other people in the group too. But the thing is, y'all don't see it. And you guys all don't point it out.
Pia, let's pause real quick, because that was on point. Woo! Boom! Pia just Pia just said that shit.
And I say it again.
That was so good because, like, exactly. Dorit just chimed in. Rinna chimed in. No one was like, stop being
Kyle is always chiming in.
No one goes, stop being her bodyguard. Not one person. But literally just Garcelle says one thing. And so she says, and this is not me being her bodyguard. And clearly Diana wasn't even paying attention to this conversation. Like, Diana was clearly not listening at all. She felt Garcelle throw her shade. And then she felt the need to like retaliate. So then she goes, can I just say something? Of all the people in this group, you're the most guarded. And I was like, oh, she just wasn't paying attention. Like, she has literally no idea what they were talking about and felt the need to fight.
Yeah.
And I don't like that at the after show, Kyle says something like, when you're fighting in these groups or in this group, fights are contagious. And Crystal says something like, I said the same thing to Garcelle about how, her being so close to Sutton kind of gets in the way of getting close to her. And I'm like, okay, guys, no. In that moment, Diana just wasn't listening. She heard Garcelle throw a little bit of attitude her way, or not even attitude, but just like make a point. And Diana didn't like that. And so then she felt the need to say that, but she didn't even know what she was talking about, because then Garcelle reminds her, at your Christmas party, we had a whole moment and I was wide open. You can't say that I shut you down, because I was open in that conversation. And then Diana, yeah, but I haven't seen you since. So, and Garcelle goes, well, I haven't seen you either.
I love it. Garcelle played this whole scene perfectly. She really did. She was really just I felt like I was watching a tennis match and they were not keeping up. Like, it was beautiful to watch how quick Garcelle was.
Okay, so wait, hold on, wait.
Sorry, go.
Did you see, I didn't even see Rinna even coming. Did you see her coming? I didn't see her coming. Did you? I didn't
see her coming, but also, I don't know why we're ever surprised by her.
When she popped up, it was like, huh? But I love that Garcelle couldn't even keep a straight face. But Rinna took herself so seriously.
She did.
She was like, do you hear her? Do you hear where she's coming from? Just for a second. And Garcelle scoffs in her face. She's like, what? And then she says, what do you hear?
It was comedy gold. Because Rinna really thought she was about, because Rinna really thought she was about to have a moment.
Oh, I mean,
you know what it is? I think Rinna thought, because she had her breakdown and everybody did rally around her, that she was untouchable for the rest of the night. And everybody would just if she said anything, no one would really come for her because she's fragile now. No.
But also, it was like, bitch, aren't you done? Didn't you have your scene?
The thing is, she could have really gracefully got out of that moment, because she did have her moment and everyone decided to come together and support her, right? Even Sutton, right? Everybody. Be quiet, because Kyle and everybody else is doing enough work. You need to just sit there and listen. You had your moment. You had your scene. That's her problem. She wants too much camera time.
And it's like she thought she saw yet another opportunity, because she did this with Dorit also, when Dorit came for Garcelle last season at her lip event, where she gets excited for someone to come for Garcelle for this exact same bullshit. And then I think she's sad and in pain. And Diana's looking down as if she's sad and in pain about whatever happened between you two. About whatever happened between you two, bitch. You don't even know.
Yeah, because she's never there when any of the shit happens. She's always hearing it secondhand.
Yeah. And then Diana, I just like to know you better, differently. And Garcelle, with perfect sincerity, and I would like to know you better, differently as well, Diana. Garcelle, how do you feel about that, Rinna?
Yes.
And then the way she looks in, she goes, and Rinna looks shocked. Rinna didn't see that coming. Let me just point out how different the whole scene / group dynamic would be if Rinna was actually truly trying to be a peacemaker and truly trying to bring them together as friends. Imagine how amazing it would have been if Rinna said, now, Diana, do you hear her? Imagine. Yeah. Because then we would believe Rinna was actually trying to create a friendship there.
Right. What they keep on thinking that we're not seeing is that there's subconsciously or consciously showing us that they have a side and perspective. When Rinna did that, and as you said, did not give Diana the same, I guess, lecture or whatever to say, did you hear Garcelle? She made it into Diana as a victim and Garcelle as a bully.
Yes.
And I'm really happy that Garcelle says what she says next.
Because Rinna goes, I feel good about it, Garcelle, but why do you have to say it like that?
She shouldn't have said that part either.
And Garcelle says, because the way you said it to me. Why didn't you say, Diana, do you hear Garcelle? Fucking the brilliance of this woman in the moment to have this mental clarity.
Yes.
Because this is where Sutton is more entertaining.
Yeah.
Because she just goes wild and like it's just funny.
Yes. She can't put her thoughts together. It takes her a lot of time to like figure it out. We
literally see that at the end. Like she literally loses her train of thought. She's like, hold on. Like she can't get it together.
That might have been, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But Rinna says, okay. Rinna goes, because I think but also Rinna had to like come up with the reason here, because when she says, why didn't you say, Diana, do you hear Garcelle? She's like, fuck, why didn't I? Like she goes, okay, because I think you're defensive and I don't hear her being defensive. So she was just making shit up.
Yeah, she was. And I think everybody at that table was like,
and you saw their faces.
Everybody is like, I don't know about it. Like, I want, like, damn.
They're like, what are you going to come up with? Like,
yeah, because like that is very fucking valid. Like, I don't think anybody
we didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Like, shit, go Rena. Like even Erica was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like it wasn't good.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't good.
We don't know. We don't know what she's going to say. And so then Garcelle, why am I defensive? And so Rinna finds an opportunity. She goes, why are you defensive? Nice. Oh, so, okay. Oh, that is a tactic. If I have ever seen one, bitch, if I ever seen it. And then Garcelle, you tell me, you seem to know everything. You tell me.
Yes.
And then Rinna, long pause.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Fear.
Oh my, like she said it too. Oh my gosh. I nearly choked. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's all you could come. Fear. I think everybody in that room audibly gasped. I think the camera people audibly gasped. I think the producers on the side audibly gasped. I think that the neighbors on the street audibly gasped.
Mauricio went, Rena. They were like, Mauricio, no, you're not in the scene. He's like, I thought I had a line. Okay, no, you don't. No, this is not your line. And she goes, what am I fearful of? And Rinna says, well, that is something you have to ask yourself. I think we all have fear. And fucking Erica goes, amen.
I know. I was like,
Erica, when she did that, I boiled over. I said, no. You don't get to co-sign your friend right now. Okay. Right. Don't act like, but that's how ride or die they are for each other. That she's got to like, even though Rinna's lost this completely, she's like, no, I have to like support you here.
Again, it just frustrates me because I know we all see it, but it's so fucking frustrating. And this is what gaslighting is. They are mirror images of each other, and it's good and bad, in my opinion. Erica and Rinna are a solid team. They defend each other no matter what. Unwavering loyalty. Garcelle and Sutton, the same situation, but with the difference with them is I do think that Garcelle truly calls out Sutton, but she can't do it all the time in front of the ladies because the ladies are already attacking and she does it in private. Yep. You know what I mean? But I don't think that Rinna tells Erica anything in private. I don't think anybody gives anybody accountability on that in that friendship.
Nope. And then Rinna, and I think when we come from love, we don't come from that defensive place.
Oh my God. I just got smacked in the face with some bullshit. What?
So I go, why are you? And Garcelle, you're telling me about coming from love? Yeah, I am. And Garcelle under her breath, that's bullshit. Now, I love that Kyle in her confessional. By the way, Kyle is in that same where she had the curly hair confessional look, but the curly hair is different.
It is a little different, isn't it?
It's not the same type of curl. So they were like, we don't know what the fuck we did that first time, but we can't duplicate it.
I don't know why they choose to do really specific hairstyles like that, which would be really hard to emulate again.
Like just give her a wig.
You know that you guys have to match it.
Yep. Continuity, baby. Which, by the way, is a production flaw. Like,
yeah, no, I don't blame Kyle. Like they should have figured that out. Like
production is a whole mess. They clearly were having so much going on behind the scenes with production, like clearly.
Yeah.
So Kyle in her confessional is like, Rinna needs to practice what she preaches. And I'm like, what's the point of saying this not in the scene? Like, I wish Kyle would have said, Rinna, like, you cannot say that right now after you just screamed at Sutton. Like, you can't say lead from love and blah, blah. But instead, she says it in the confessional. Great. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Kyle could not say it in front of the Fox Force 5. It would be a breach of contract.
Exactly. And Queen Garcelle, I love that she says this. She says, just once in a while, I would like somebody to go, you know what? Garcelle is right. And Kathy, Garcelle, you are right.
I love Kathy.
And Garcelle, no, actually, it's not about right. And Kyle says, you just want to feel supported. But I was trying to figure out what Dorit was saying, because Dorit looked like she was getting defensive and she was kind of arguing. And Kyle talked over her and was like, you just want to feel supported. So I couldn't tell what Dorit was saying because Dorit was getting snappy.
Really? I didn't even catch that.
Oh, I was getting, because people are saying Dorit's showing up and doing a good job now. And I'm like, what the fuck? What show are you guys watching? I'm getting very irritated by this. Because Dorit's actually been running over to Erica talking shit about Garcelle too. So like, don't be fooled. Dorit's just pretending.
Dorit is playing
both sides.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what she's doing. She's playing both sides, but she's really on Erica's side.
Yeah.
And sometimes making Garcelle feel safe, like that
dinner.
The dinner that she was referring to.
She ran right to Erica.
That was very light and it wasn't serious. And that's the issue I have with them. Like Garcelle isn't like, sometimes it's a serious conversation, but that was like, she had just learned new information. It was clearly a prompted dinner to have to talk about the information she learned. And it was not heavy. Like, I hate how they always misconstrue things, but there are cameras, so we will be able to see it. So,
yeah. And then so Kyle goes, I don't know what's happening, but I totally agree with Garcelle. And then they laugh and they end of dinner. Okay, so next day or whenever it is, Crystal and Rob are in the kitchen and they have the conversation about how the girls are talking about the eating disorder. And Rob is actually like immediately perks up because she's like, Sutton and Rinna told me that they were talking about my eating disorder. And he's like, well, why would they bring it up? Why were they talking about it? What's happening? And she's just really distraught. And I am in no way talking bad about this relationship. I'm just noticing that the dynamic between them, he's very much her caretaker and very much coddles her and likes that role, which makes sense now why Crystal's very, very fragile. Like she's just delicate. And he likes it, that works for them, but now it makes sense why she cannot handle a lot.
Because those group of women are not going to be like that.
And now all the stuff where her emotions need to be accepted as they are, no matter what, is Rob will do that for her.
Yeah.
I could see it. Like he just he likes it. And that's great. He loves her for that. But it all it makes sense. Watching the two of them in that scene, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's happened. And because he loves her.
I really liked what he was. I really liked what he was saying to her in the scene. It was like what we've all been saying online. It's like, yes, get help. Do it for you, not for them.
And the way she cried was almost like childlike. Yeah. He just wrapped her up and it was like, okay, so I got the dynamic and I got her. I got it. I understood it now.
It's like Dorit and PK. Like when I first saw them, I wasn't sure about it. And then I see their dynamic. And like, I believe they really love each other.
Not even so much that I didn't ever doubt their dynamic and their love. It was more just like how sensitive she is.
Yeah.
And like how, remember how we said, I think she actually does experience, like when Sutton walked in on her and she was violated. And I remember I was like, I think she does actually experience these things in the way that she experiences them.
Yes.
I think that like watching the way Rob coddles her was like, okay, so like she really does just live a very like delicate life in like a very like a glass box and like is kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, I always believe she experienced all of the things that happened, but it still doesn't really excuse of like, you can't, like, not everyone's going to move that way.
Exactly.
You know? So you can't expect that from everyone.
Exactly.
And then when that is your truth, but then when someone else tells you their truth, like you guys can try to come to a middle understanding. And it felt for me for a while, she wasn't trying to do that. It was like, those are the words I chose because that is what happened to me. Yeah, for you though, but not for everyone else involved. It's not like, you know what I mean?
I think that was where like we got a little bit of a breakthrough when I thought, at least when Garcelle was talking to her about maybe seeing where the disconnect is, you know, when they were down in Mexico. I thought that maybe there was that breakthrough where she was like, maybe this is why it's coming across like you are calculating it, but maybe that's just how you're experiencing it. And like, here, maybe we can like marriage these two things together so we can understand everything. You know what I mean? I think that maybe if she, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like I'm telling her how to feel or how to express herself, but
no. And I feel like everybody is allowed to express themselves, but it's just like, I feel like it's just always trying to be open. It's really hard for people to be open to how other people express themselves. So I think everyone, not just her, has to be open to how people express them, and also be willing to, maybe if you're going to be friends with people, like if something is like, I can't handle how you do this, trying to adjust a little bit. I'm not saying change yourself, but like, and as people, we're saying, we have to adjust every day for people. Like,
and as we are saying this, we're referring to the way the women are handling her eating disorder.
Yes,
because they're refusing to adjust to how she needs them to communicate.
Yeah, like they're not putting themselves in her shoes or
at all.
If this was how I did it, and then like, I feel like some of those women have had eating disorders. So they're like, that's not how I handled it. So they don't have empathy for her because they're like, this is fixable. You're just not doing the work because I fixed my issue or I have it under control.
Yep.
And it's like, everyone is different. Everyone handles things differently. And it's really none of your business how and when she does it.
Yeah. The know-it-all thing. It
is a know-it-all thing, isn't it?
It's the biggest epidemic in human nature. The people that like, if someone starts to tell you a problem they're having, just listen. And that's the unsolicited advice thing is one of my biggest pet peeves of all time.
And, you know, I'm actually just really starting to get a grasp on that too, because I think that by human nature, we do want to fix things. And it a lot of times it does come from a good place, but it's not helpful actually. Because sometimes people just really want to talk to you and like maybe even talk at you because they just need to get it out, you know, and they don't even need you to say anything. They don't need no solutions. They need no suggestions. They just need you to be there, be open, really listen to them and without judgment. And I not that I'm like learning that in some of my dynamics and people in my lives. I'm like, oh, like I thought you were asking for a solution or a suggestion, and that's not what's happening. I'm like, oh, you just want me to sit here and listen. Got it.
Especially because
that's fine.
If someone's going through something, when you start offering them unsolicited advice, you're usually giving them a to-do list.
Yes. And that's overwhelming.
And so they're like, oh, great. Now instead of these problems I already have, I have more activities I need to add to my list. And that's now more problems.
You're making it like a burden for them because now it's like something you've given them a task that you've given them to do. And if they fail at it, it's even worse. And I think it can even lead to more of a spiral with the initial problem. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, but by the way, I actually really don't think these ladies are coming from a good place, to be clear, not from what I've seen.
They are very much like they come across as impatient and annoyed by Crystal. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
And that's gross. Erica, especially. Like Erica's like, put this to bed. You're telling everyone about it and you're not getting the right help. I'm like, whoa, that's odd.
And it's like, I feel like it's always like for everyone else, it's like, well, I'm dealing with bigger fish in my life. So you have a little eating disorder. I have a lot of lawsuits. Like, like that's like what it kind of comes down to. It's like, you have the money, you have the resources. When she says it like that, I feel like she's like resentful to Crystal, because she's like, you have the husband that loves you. You have the kids, you have the money, you have all these people that help you, that can help you. And I have to scrape to pay my lawyers, and I have all these, like my husband's in a assisted living thing. I'm going through a nasty divorce. I have that. It seems like it's like my problem is bigger than your problem, like, and your problem is fixable, and my problem is like doesn't feel as fixable.
Yeah.
So it feels like Erica's honestly making it about herself.
100%. So Kathy comes in and Crystal's like, oh, I was crying, just talking about, what was going on with the girls. And Kathy goes, okay, look, the girls love you, but we're not lawyers. We're not doctors. We're not therapists. And it's okay to say, yes, I have an issue and I'm working on it. And that's between me, myself, and I.
Damn, Kathy.
And then she goes, without missing a beat, she goes, do you have a cracker? Something to nibble on.
Give this woman a diamond, please.
Only if she wants it. Because I think she doesn't want it. I think she's afraid of that diamond, because then they're going to ask her too many personal questions.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's actually as best that she just stays a friend of, because she's just really, her role is comedic, like breaks.
Yeah, I think she's literally refused a diamond.
Yeah, because they would have a field day, because they would get to really delve into every little part of their lives. Like they probably even bring up Paris going to like that place that they sent her. Like they would be ruthless.
So she's like, they probably have offered and she said no. But now they are scrambling. But I do have to point out, if I'm going to have Kathy Hilton over, I'm putting out a spread of food. Like I'm really surprised they didn't have that out.
I know. I put out a charcuterie board for my friends now when they come to my little apartment. Like, what are you doing? And so she's like, something to nibble on. And then they're like pulling out these things. He's like, do you like blue cheese? She goes, no. But it was like the build.
Yeah.
It was the build for me though. Like it was just
Diet Coke. Diet Coke.
She was just like, I just need like a little thing. And then it was like, they made her like a whole charcuterie board.
Yeah. Yeah. A napkin. And then finally it's all laid out. She goes, I drive all the way here and this is all I get. And Crystal goes, a couple of nuts. It was cute.
It was cute. It was Kathy
delivered. Kyle's birthday party, I'm not going to go too into detail with it. The only takeaway I had it was kind of uncomfortable. Not kind of, it was very uncomfortable. So even with her own kids, Kyle finds a way to like talk about herself in a very braggy way. One of her kids, I think it was Sophia, got her roller skates. And so she puts on the roller skates and starts skating. And it's like, it felt very staged. I was like, did Kyle get herself these roller skates and pretend they were from Sophia and then like have Portia bring them downstairs?
She absolutely did.
Because then she's skating and Portia's like, wow, Mom, you're so good. And she's like, well, I used to compete, guys. And like gets a chance to tell us that she competes. And I was like, so wow, even in front of her kids, she does this. It felt like what she would do in normal scenes with the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like she just really wanted an opportunity to say that she roller skated with Michael Jackson.
Like she does that all the time.
All the people that she was friends with back in the 70s. Like, okay, great. We get it. You're a child star. It
was awkward. I'm like, even with your own kids? Okay. Even like in a family scene, you'll do this? Jesus.
She needs to stay relevant.
I'm like, but this is in front of your daughters. Like, God, all right. I can't wait to hear what their therapy sessions are going to sound like. All right. God, Lisa and Erica at lunch. Like this, just seeing them in a frame together at this lunch, I was like, I want to vomit.
Right.
I'm living in my truth. Okay. They're gross together because it's so inauthentic, and they're just like, Rinna's just coming for Sutton for sport at this point. Like, they've made up so many times, and it's just like, she doesn't even know why she's upset. She's just coming for Sutton to have conflict. She said it because
it's easy. It's easy.
Right away, though, Rena talks about how she had a People magazine shoot, her and Harry. I'm like, notice that Garcelle rarely talks about the billions of jobs that she's working on.
Yeah, like, guys, she's in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, Garcelle is booked and busy, but you don't hear her sit down at one of the filming days and talk about it off the top.
She's worked with so many people. Like, she's literally she's played opposite for Denzel's wife. She was in the first, she's played opposite of what's his name? Michael Keaton in Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like right now, wife. Like it's happening like while they're like, don't like, okay, Lisa. And so I don't even know. I wrote down, these are the little notes that I wrote because they're barely relevant. Quote, Sutton seems to be the trigger for my grief. And then they talk about the liability conversation and Rinna's beauty event. Those are the beats of the conversation. Pointless. Really? Honestly, like, it was like, wow, I can't believe Sutton brought that up. It's like, well, fuck you. Guess what, Erica? You have a lot going on and we don't get to talk about it because you're in this bubble and we're pretending like it's not happening. So you need to get off the show.
Yeah. And then also, let's also talk about how the fact that Sutton is like not gonna like really divulge too much information. She gave real basics of it. She was like, this did happen. She could have been really dirty about it. Like, other housewives on other franchises would have been like,
oh my God, Ramona. Imagine Ramona.
Gritty of it.
Imagine if this was happening on Roni. Imagine if messy ass Sonia, messy ass Ramona were dealing with this.
She gave redacted receipts. So I don't know what the problem is.
Because like, Jesus Christ. Kyle and Sutton meet for cocktails, and Kyle right away is like, you threw everyone for a loop with that comment. And Sutton's like, okay, well, there is a woman who puts us all in a bad position and none of you want to talk about it and y'all defend her. And Kyle is all like, she's like, wow, like, can you relax, Sutton? You are being so, and Sutton just like kind of steers the conversation into a funny direction. Like, Sutton knows how to navigate right out of it. And she's like, well, sorry, I'm, whatever. Well, give me a minute and have a date.
I love when I'm sorry, I'm a slutton. Sorry,
we're
guys.
sluttons.
I'm sluttons right now. Until further notice, I'm a slutton. But guess what? My loyalty is not like,
we're not stands. We're not stands.
Yeah, like if she does something, I will completely.
We will turn.
Shit. I will turn on you. I would turn on anybody.
On anybody, even Garcelle if we have to. Yeah, like no one is perfect.
Like, that's the beauty of it. Like, that's why it would be more fun of a show if everyone like have loyalty until they do something, and then it's like, ooh, switching lanes. We're switching lanes.
It happens all the time from season to season.
Yeah, they're afraid to switch lanes.
Yep. Then they get into some dating talk, and Kyle's like, you're going on a date like that? Don't you think you should maybe try to look a little more poor? And Sutton holds up like all these rings. She's like, this is poor. Kyle's like, no. And Sutton's like, look, this is not easy. I'm a little difficult. I like to debate and I like to be right. I like a self-aware queen.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't feel like Sutton is like pretending like she's not messy and that she does say things without thinking. Like, she's like, I do it and I probably will continue to do it. So like, you can move on now. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, you all have things that you guys continuously do and no one, like, everyone has just accepted it. So let's just accept that I'm going to do that and go on tangents and say really, really fun Southern quips. Okay.
Just go with it. God damn it. Dorit with these roller skates was her daughter was so cute telling PK, like, if she falls, it's going to be your fault because you didn't give her any confidence.
Did you hear her slight British accent?
Oh, fuck yes, I did.
It was fucking everything.
Oh my God.
And she read PK to filth.
Filth.
Give her a diamond.
So cute. So cute.
Give her a baby diamond.
Oh my God, a little teeny tiny
Give her a little baby diamond.
Oh, she was so cute.
It's gonna be your fault.
And then so Dorit's daughter, just like in every way, just like kind of delusionally happy and like all about something so tiny like roller skating.
I know. And then like she just like Dorit just like rolls off and almost does break her neck. You just see what's her name? The little girl,
Phoenix,
little Phoenix running after her. Like, no, mommy. Like she didn't say no, mommy, but she like, it was like, no, mommy.
It was so cute.
I loved it. I loved that. I
loved it.
Like,
Phoenix
so
is
cute.
a badass. Remember the karate scene?
I don't talk about it. I was thinking about it.
Where she was so mad at Jagger.
She was like, Jagger,
like, I'm holding my ass back.
Like, I'm actually in class. You're pretending to be in class. Okay. Like,
it's like over there actually doing it and like way advanced. And Jagger's like,
I felt like she was going to be like Uma Thurman and like Kill Bill. She's like going to be
100%. Yeah. Rinna's wig is so bad for her party. Horrible. Horror. I'm going to say it again. Horrible. Ryan Bailey posted a side-by-side of her and ET.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Accurate.
It was. Who's your favorite look from that event?
Good question. Let me think. Hold on. Actually, to be honest, I didn't really like anyone's look. I thought they all were not my favorite. And just like I would have just done something different. I hate to say it, but I liked Erica's hair the best.
I'm trying to remember what Erica's hair. Let me look at this photo.
Oh yeah, the photo.
I don't know if I'm going to see everyone because Paris cropped some people out. But
someone pointed out that actually Paris didn't crop her out. Paris retweeted someone else's. Like someone else tweeted.
Yeah, I felt like that was probably what happened, but it's still funny. It's
it's amazing. Okay, wait. Crystal just didn't really fully commit.
I feel like Crystal never fully commits.
Yeah, no, she didn't quite like get there.
Yeah, I guess I don't like. I'm looking at the group picture. I actually do like, I think Garcelle's my favorite. And that's because hers really, for me, I'm like, that looks like 70s. Like, I mean, could it be
Garcelle's?
Yeah. Like, could it be better? Sure. But I love the dress. It reminds me of like Janet Jackson 5, like young Janet Jackson, like baby Janet.
I'm gonna go Erica's for the look, Garcelle's for the vibe.
Ooh. I liked that.
Right?
Mix. That was nice.
Right. But Rinna's like with the bartender, she's clear, like she had the what's it called? The party planner do everything. So then she shows up and they don't, for some reason, these bar people are not the bartenders. And they don't have real lemons, and she can't shut up about it. We need real lemons. She can't shut up about it. Erica, when she comes in, you just hear her go, "I've arrived. Now we can have a good time." I'm like, opposite.
I know. I was like, that's not the truth.
That's the opposite. Garcelle comes in and she's got some Studio 54 stories, which I was living for. The throwback photo of her back then. I was like, good God, this woman was like hunting. And also like it makes me think, just because I want to be so shady and petty, Rinna's got stories about when she started her career and how she was just like rejected because she talks about she was just like ugly. Like she was told by a casting director, like, girl, we got nothing for you. Garcelle was never told that. So I'm sure like all of these things just like add to Rinna's just like utter desperation and like resentment for people.
Yeah.
And it's because she's Rinna's a jealous person.
Yeah. Rinna's very jealous. And it goes back to the whole thing with Kyle.
Denise.
Denise. It was Kyle Richards. Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like all of that stems from a place of jealousy. Like we know that Denise was the highest paid housewife, and she didn't have to do much. And I know that pissed Rinna off. Yeah. And that's why they came for her. That is why they came for her.
Totally. But Garcelle's Coke story, Garcelle, you can tell Garcelle is not someone who did a bunch of blow in her life.
Oh, no.
You can feel it. You can just tell like she genuinely was happy that the Coke spilled and she didn't have to do it. Like, yeah. God, if only my life was like that. if only I was excited the Coke spilled and I didn't do it.
Yeah, most people in LA would be like,
it spilled and I just did it off the floor.
Oh yeah, they would definitely be trying to figure out if they can
especially if it was Studio 54 Coke back in the fucking 70s. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Pure as fuck.
Yeah, they had the owners had drug dealers in the thing for them, like they're passing it out like candy.
I watched the documentary. Studio 54 is like wild.
Paused. You did watch that other documentary. This is the one with the guy killed my dad.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. I just needed to say it one time. The
Netflix one, right?
Yes, it was so fucking good.
Yeah. Okay, so they sit down and Kyle does we're going to go to Aspen. This is like the group trip setup. And she's like, my house is small, but there's another house. And Garcelle goes, I'll stay at the other house. And Diana says, I'll stay at the hotel. And I go, right now, that means that you should not be invited back. If you can't do a group trip and stay in one of the group house things, then you can't get a second season.
Isn't that why they were so mad at Erica that one time when she decided she wanted to stay in like many seasons ago?
I think that was such a dumb thing to be upset about.
I did too. That was when I liked Erica and I was like, why are you guys coming for her? Because she wanted to stay like, who cares?
Let her do that. She's going to come right back in the morning.
And she was coming to all the events. And this was when we didn't know that like I liked Erica at a time.
Oh no. I never like hated Erica, but I was just like, this bitch brings nothing to this show but glam. Like she did
invent glam for the show.
And I thought that was annoying because it became people's personalities.
That's true.
And I was like, well, that's annoying because now we just get too many shots of glam. And I'm like, what? We're missing storylines.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these dancers that come out. It was Kendrick posted. By the way, do you know who Kendrick is?
Yeah.
The one who okay. Kendrick posted that I thought the exact same thing. It looked like Will Ferrell when Spartan Cheerleaders. It had like this guy was tall like Will Ferrell and like it was so cheesy. These outfits they had on were horrendous.
I was like Rena, the budget.
Like, what are they wearing? And they did some bad dance and then they throw masks on and they try to get them up to date. Kathy at one point goes, what is this? Because it looked like that. It was like, the problem is it's so awkward because they're the only ones at this party. So yeah, you can't really do this like dance moment when like there's no one else there.
Wait, why didn't I even think about like, yeah, she just threw a party for them.
That's it. So you don't get to do like get up and dance when it's just them. And so they get everyone up to dance. Why is Rinna not dancing?
But if it's for Rinna Beauty, why shouldn't other people be there?
She said she couldn't because of COVID.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah, she had a whole conversation about just like, well, it's different venue, but now it's just us.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't bother going into it because I didn't care. But like it's Rinna, Erica and Diana just watching them. I'm like, Rinna, you love to dance. Why are you not?
This is her moment.
Get up, you idiot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like Rinna loves to dance. That was her MFing moment. Like the way she moves around on Instagram, like this was her time to be light, to be free, to lead with love.
That's her thing. And that she can't even give us that.
It's a missed opportunity.
She can't even give us that. She's useless.
Fire her.
I will say it 1,000 times. If she's not gone, I'm not watching next year.
I mean, I'm getting nervous because I forget where I read it, and it's not obviously it's a blind item, so it's like not necessarily true.
Hold on, wait. If it's a casting thing, everybody, FYI, no casting decisions are ever made while a season is airing. I got that information from my inside source.
Right, and that's what I feel like too. But like somebody was saying, like definitely not happening, and I was like, nope. Please, like, that just kind of like. I was like, I know that that's not true, but it was like, it kind of also like, don't try to break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Anything that has to do with casting that's like while a season is airing is purely just somebody writing in a blind to be salacious and clickbait. Okay. If it's between a season, like if it's post reunion filming, possibly. Okay. But like if it's while a season is airing, they haven't even filmed the reunion yet. I know. I'm waiting for them to like put some teasers of like when they're going to start filming that, because I feel like it's going to be any time now, because I feel like we're almost at the end. Yeah, I think we're only going to get like maybe hold on, Aspen trip. I don't know, because Kyle said there was like 22 episodes, but I don't know if that is including
the reunions.
But I don't know if she would know to include the reunions. But I would imagine, because they're usually only 22 episode seasons, including reunions. Because God, if there's 22 episodes
plus
and reunion, oh my God.
Yeah, that's like, that was the whole summer.
Okay, this is interesting. Garcelle and Sheree are talking, and then Kathy like walks over to be like, I told Rick I'm doing the real. It was like very weird how she like joined in the conversation. And Sheree goes, what's the secret, Kathy? And Kathy's like, it's keeping good people around you, and also be careful because any day you can get canceled. I was like, what? Was she this close to Garcelle last year?
Yes. Yes.
She was?
I think she was.
I don't know. It feels maybe they're closer because she's going on the Real.
No, I feel like they've always had like a closeness. I feel like with her being like, I feel like with her being on the show more and more, they've just keep getting closer. But I feel like they've always had like a closeness. Yeah. But I think that, yeah, I do.
Okay. So Kyle asks Sutton, she's like, how are you feeling about like the whole thing with Erica? And Kathy, and then like food comes by and Kyle grabs it. And Kathy goes, wait, are we still going out? And this is so weird. Kyle goes, let her talk. It's important, Kathy. And she goes, I'm just checking because, you know, you're stuffing your trap and I want to make sure we're still going out. And she goes, it's important, Kathy. Let her talk. And Kathy's like, oh, sorry. Okay, let me get my drink. And Kyle's like, what happened to her? Is she okay? I'm like, what the fuck, Kyle?
Because she was mad that Kathy interrupted her producing session.
What? But I'm like, answer her question. It's so easy. Like, oh, no, I'm just grabbing a quick bite. Like, she didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
That was right there. I was like, oh, okay. Got it.
Let me tell you, I already have a strong opinion about like what's going to happen. What I have, we'll get into it. It's just not there yet, but that's where my wheel started turning in that moment as well.
Me too. I was like, there was no need for you to be that bitchy to your sister.
That is where the wheel started turning for me.
That was really fucking mean. I was very, very mad at her shaming her. And it was just embarrassing. You didn't need to be that mean to your sister.
Kyle doesn't have any sense of like loyalty to her sisters, to be honest. She puts more value into her friends here than she does her sisters. Like, and I think that also comes from some jealousy because Kathy is who Kathy is. And I feel like Kyle's like, this is my show. And It's like, I'm in the middle of a producing session. How dare you speak to me? I'm at work.
That was unnecessarily
mean. So unnecessary.
She said, I just want to make sure because you're eating. Like, are we still going out? God damn. So Sutton says, well, I mean, I had a friend call me a liability. And Kyle's like, well, what did she mean by that? And she goes, I don't know. And so Kyle, Erica, what did you mean when you said Sutton was a liability? And then so Erica's like, a hindrance. So it's like, okay, so like their relationship is keeping us from getting closer to Garcelle. That is a fucking statement, right? Like, wow. And Erica's like, yes, I mean, like, instead of seeing me for me, you're going to see me through those eyes. So translation, the way I treat Sutton is going to cause you to judge me. Okay, that's what you're saying. You don't want to judge the way I treat Sutton. I don't want you to judge me based on that. And Garcelle in her confessional is like, yeah, but like if I saw her treat anyone that way, it would make me pause. And so then next fucking breath, Dorit goes, just the other night, you said, Erica, you have a lot of lawsuits. That was below the belt. And Rinna goes, that was fucking mean. Sutton goes, no, it wasn't. And Rinna goes, yes, it was. Don't play dumb. And Sutton goes, it's aggressive. And then Kyle is like, let her talk. And Rinna goes, I don't care if I'm aggressive. I'm not having your back right now. But then she realizes that she's doing the exact thing that they're trying to tell Garcelle not to do. And she goes, and I'm not having her back. No, you're literally having her back. You're literally having her back. And Sutton goes, you've never had my back. And Rinna goes, have your own back, Sutton Strack. What the fuck is this? So what you guys have just said is Garcelle should not judge us based on how we treat Sutton, but we should judge Sutton based on how she treats Erica.
Yeah, they always talk out both sides of their mouth. That's a Sutton Strack quote. They really do. They
I hate it.
Want to dish out in the rules of how to be friends with me, but those rules do not apply to them. That's not fair.
It's exhausting.
You guys, it's exhausting. Garcelle's not allowed to speak up for Sutton, but everyone else is allowed to speak up for Erica.
Yeah, literally everyone.
We are not supposed to judge them by how they treat Sutton, but we should all judge Sutton on how they treat how she treats Erica.
Them. Yeah. Erica specifically.
We should all give Rinna room for grief, but we don't give it to LVP.
Literally.
LVP's brother and mother died and no one cared.
Oh, wow. It's just true. It's just like,
yeah, you guys do talk out both sides of your mouth. And when someone calls you on it, it's get out of my house. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to say, like, they don't really want to address why they said things along the way, or why they may have had change of heart. They don't want to address the things that they've said in the past. This is what I'm trying to say.
Rinna, at this point, the way she's talking to in this scene, it's like she's not even really sure what she's saying. She's just performing.
She is. And it's
like, have your own back, Sutton Strack. Like, do you even know what you're saying?
No, she doesn't. She has no clue.
You're just performing. Cameras are up. You're just performing. You're in costume. So Kyle tries to change. She's like, okay, after we had dinner at Dorit's house and Kathy at the Toothless and Homeless Foundation. And it's hard not to laugh. So Garcelle and Sheree laugh. And now Dorit. And you see, this is where it's ridiculous, because I've just told you at the top of the episode that this foundation is not a valid charity. So she goes, this is a really important charity, Kathy. And Garcelle's like, me? I'm laughing at Kathy. I'm not laughing at the charity. Like, come on. And this is where Beverly Hills and Dorit specifically drive me crazy. They will belabor a point because they're so fucking sensitive. And now for Dorit, the war is on.
Oh, yeah, it was. That was the second wheel turned.
What was the first?
The first wheel was like this Kyle snapping at Kathy. And then that's I'm seeing where this is what I like.
I see where the Kathy,
where everyone decided, where all of the Fox Force 5 decided that Kathy was a new target. And it was very easy to decide that, because they already know Kyle has no issue with going against her sisters. They've been in feuds for many years. It would have been super easy to be like, Kathy's the new target. easily because they really have been trying to make Sutton the targetinist, and I'm really not working for them. So they need to change course.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy, she reminds me of Denise Richards. Again, I'm bringing up her a lot because I remember on Denise's last season, everyone was kind of coming for Kyle in the first episodes, and they were all at Denise's house, and Denise defended Dorit about like being late to Teddy's thing, and that's when the whole vagabond comment happened, and that was the night that everything turned and Kyle decided
vagabond.
Remember when she called
ragamuffin?
I said vagabond. Ragamuffin. When she called Denise ragamuffin, and that was the night I was like, that was the night.
Oh yeah, me too.
That was the night where Kyle was like, Denise is the person we're taking down, and this is the moment where they decided Kathy's being taken down.
Done. Dorit's eyes, like the look on her face was like, because. And Rinna too, like you saw Rinna go, oh, she's coming for a charity because it's so easy. It's so easy. Like, oh, you're making fun of a charity. It's like, no, we're making fun of the dumb name that these dumb rich people came up with.
They saw a hook. I'm hearing all the things underneath the breath. Oh, there's charities and the tooth. Like she said, they're laughing. Oh, yes. They're really trying to build up this, like Kathy is just like too far removed because she's too rich. Did that really come out of her mouth?
Oh, yes. It was. You're right. You're right.
Meanwhile, everyone's still laughing at the charity.
Well, also Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle goes, the name is not amazing. Okay. She goes, forgetting about the toothless, not homeless charity. And Crystal's like, no, it's homeless, not toothless.
And even Crystal has to catch herself because she's laughing because it's not about the charity. It's about everyone's like inability to get this silly name like the name of this charity is silly.
And even in the confessionals, they're like, I'll get it. It's toothless, not homeless. And it's like, no, it's not. It's homeless, not toothless. Because again, if it was toothless, not homeless, that would be the funniest charity ever.
Yeah.
Because it would be for people who are toothless, but they're not homeless.
Sounds like an SNL skit. To be
exactly. All of this is like an SNL sketch. Like this is all comedy. And Sutton's like, they really should change the name.
Honestly, they should have just started asking Dorit, like, can you just tell me some statistics about this charity? Like, and how many people have you helped?
2019 was the last time they filed with the IRS. 2019, we're in 2022.
I'm kind of scared though too, because like, is her name on anything? Because it's like, are they going to start? Because now that she's put this on the show, it's like kind of getting.
By the way, this is like the millionth time that Dorit has associated with something that's like scammy. Like Dorit is always doing shit like this, where people go to look into something she's put her name on, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Although I will give her credit, I went to the Capri Room at Buca di Beppo for my birthday this past year, and it was fantastic.
Oh,
like I went in to make fun of it in like a camp way. And I wanted to be like, look at the, and I was like, no, it's nice.
Good for her.
I mean, it's the Capri Room at Buca di Beppo in Encino. Well, let's not get it twisted. It's not like Lisa Vanderpump opening in Vegas.
Right. But you know, I'm not, I think that Dorit has an eye for things. So I'm not surprised by that. I think she's very fashionable. Mm-hmm. I would definitely vote her most fashionable out of that cast for sure.
Sure. Kathy goes, Dorit, I have worked with the homeless. I have worked with the toothless. And even Erica and Diana are like, fuck. Like, she just said that. It's hard not to laugh.
I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with the toothless.
Well, I mean, so
she said.
Kyle says to Rinna, she says, look, after the charity night at Dorit's house, you and Sutton had a moment, but then you have very strong feelings about Sutton and your opinion of her. And Rinna is like, yeah, I do. And it's Sutton's confessional. She goes, Rinna, it's like a 70s dance. It's called the backpedal. She's doing the backpedal. And she does like this whole back. Sorry, you gotta love it. You just gotta fucking love it.
I mean, it's true. Like her analogies are like pretty accurate when it comes to a lot of these things.
It just doesn't make sense. It's like, no, we keep doing this bullshit where we make up and then you're pretending that you have an issue for cameras. And so then Rinna gives herself all the passes in the world. She goes, listen, I get it. Was it supposed to work out between Sutton and myself? I know that it will. I know that we were trying to make that happen. If I come across and say I love someone 1 minute and then I'm angry the next minute, I'm going to cut myself some slack on that right now because I know I'm trying to work out grief.
And this is why people are like not jumping to have empathy for her and in her situation because she's using it.
I don't think like I have known people who've gone through grief and I've really never heard someone use grief as an excuse like this ever. It doesn't work like that. You don't stay this aware of the fact that you're grieving as an excuse to do things. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the time you do things and you're not aware that it's because of the grief.
Right. She's like, yeah,
it's exactly like that. It's like you do something so bad and you're like, it's the grief. That's not how that works.
Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. She's like preemptively having grief. She's like, I'm going to let you know I'm going to have a lot of grief coming up. So I'm going to have a lot of flip-floppingness. I'm going to cuss a lot of people out. I'm going to do a lot of bad shit.
Okay? It's the grief.
And the grief has no expiration date, just to let you know.
That is the name of this podcast episode. It's the grief.
It's the grief. Sorry, I have like this mosquito bite in my back.
I do too, I think.
I'm covered in them.
Oh, I bet you are. Totally. So Sutton said, okay, so this is really funny. This little moment is like perfect Sutton Strack. She goes, listen, I know, because she's talking about, she's kind of trying to say like, she can't judge Rinna for being crazy. Because she's like, listen, I know I can be a loose cannon. I'm a colt. It's a baby horse. And Crystal goes, okay, you're tangenting. Keep going. And Sutton goes, no, I'm not. I've got this.
See, that was the problem. Crystal interrupted her train of thought. And she was like an actor who like forgot her lines. And
but
she
I
was
like
like,
but I like that Crystal's like, okay, like she's like, you got it. Like, but
I know, yeah. I thought the whole moment was cute, but I was like, but that is what happened though. That is what happened. When Crystal, she was about, I feel like I really want to know.
I wanted to know what the cult, what did the cult have to do with it? I would like to know.
She was like, she's not an imp, like.
And then here's the line. It goes, I don't want to take away from the fact that I was making a point. This is the truth, though. I should have said what I said. Hang on.
He said, that sounds crazy what I just said. Hold on.
And then Erica ruins everything.
She does.
And she goes, and I have a drinking problem. Well, we can get to that one later. Ma'am. Garcelle looks over at Kyle, like the way she looks dead. She goes like that. And Kyle's like, the fuck? Diana goes to Garcelle, do you have a drinking problem? I don't have a drinking problem. Erica, neither do I, but you tried to push it.
I hated that sound effect so much. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And Erica thinks she's always because she does that. That's her like her tell. Anytime she like makes like a little sound effect or like talks about Erica in the third person, that's her tell that she's really insecure about something. But she thinks that it's coming off as she's like reading you. But it's like, oh, you're super insecure about this. So you needed to add that tick. That's a tick.
Oh, you're right. It's a tell. And Garcelle says, have I said it about you? Yeah, because there were so many instances with you out of control. And Erica cuts her off and goes, there were three. And Garcelle, she goes, okay. I love that. And Erica leans in. She goes, excuse me. You know exactly what I've been through. And I told you straight up what happened. But you try to push that false narrative that I had a problem. Oh, and Garcelle, I did not try to push a false narrative. And then Erica, yeah, you did. You kept talking about it. And Garcelle, no, what I did, Erica. And then Erica has the gall. Yes, Garcelle. I came out of.
Don't you ever put emphasis on my name like that.
I stood up. I had to pause it and stand up and take a lap around my room. I was like, hold on 1 second. Hold on. I need to.
I was like, this bitch really wants to get slapped.
Oh,
she does. Because Garcelle better than me.
Garcelle then went, you need to figure out your medicine and drink ratio. That's what I said. To your face, bitch. Erica, are you trying to get over? Or are you trying to be helpful? Okay. Garcelle, that's how I felt. And when I had drinks with you, I said I was worried about you. Erica, are you though? Yes. And here we go. If I had a problem, you would be the last person to know, because these women are the closest to me. Garcelle, oh, I know. God, you guys say that almost every other day. The exasperation in her voice, she's like, shut the fuck up.
I felt that in her fucking soul when Garcelle said that, because it's like, you guys literally remind me that I am an outcast. I know. Like, it's just like,
we know you guys are the close ones. We get it. You're the inner circle. Jesus Christ. And here she says, what I meant by that is they would notice my behavior and probably pull me aside and be like, hey, what's going on with you?
She's having pretend amnesia.
I'm sorry. We all watched the scene.
Yeah, the stage scene between Rinna, Mikey, and Erica, like
where you practically like rehearsed your lines ahead of time. Like, I'm not kidding. It seemed like you guys had a script that you were going off of. It was that stage. So what are you talking about? They literally pulled you aside. Rinna did with your friend. What are you talking about?
She must have forgot.
I think she did. Or
because it wasn't authentic. It wasn't a real conversation. That's why you forget. She forgot. If it was a real conversation, she would have remembered that shit.
Right. And then she says, it feels like you went to everyone in this group and talked about, hey, does Erica have a problem? And Garcelle says, it makes it seem like I was like, oh my God, let's get together so that we can talk about this. And then they cut to a montage of her going to dinner with Dorit and lunch with Kyle. And Garcelle's like, got together and said, does it seem like something is happening with Erica? And Erica says, okay, is that to make Erica look bad or is that out of genuine concern? And she just walked right into this. Garcelle says, Erica, I don't have to make you look bad. You can do that on your own. And I mean, everyone is just
even Rinna's face.
Rinna. Kyle even said in the after show, she's like, I mean, Garcelle came in with that comeback and she's like, I was shook. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't, there's no denying that was just like, oh, fuck.
Epic. It was epic. You can't see shit.
And then Erica thinks she's got something. She goes, and you can make yourself look like a liar right now. Garcelle goes, oh, so now you're calling me a liar? And Erica says something right here. And this is when I figured out what's happening. She goes, it makes it look like you have some ulterior motive. You just wanted me to have a problem. And I figured it out. They do this. So this is what they would do. They would calculate having some bullshit on camera to perpetuate a false narrative about someone they don't like. So who was the person that sent us that?
So one of Emily's followers tagged us in one of the after show clips. It was _Giovanni. And
I'll play the clip.
Erica,
okay.
At Rena's party, you expressed some feelings you have about Garcelle talking about you.
You know exactly what I've been going through, and I told you straight up what happened.
Right.
But you tried to push that false narrative that I had a problem.
I did not try to push that.
Yeah, you did. You
No.
kept talking about it. Are you trying to get over, or are you trying to be helpful?
If she were acting judgmental, what do you think that's a result of? Like, why do you think
You would have to ask her.
I mean, I have.
You have an idea?
Well, obviously, it's just an opinion. My first thought was just that she was harboring some resentment towards Erica about the comment towards her son.
Get out of here. Don't out of here.
That Erica has apologized for many times.
Under no circumstances, though, can you disrespect not only a kid, but my kid.
I agree and take full responsibility.
Thank you.
And you know what? I was talking and treating the kids like they were adults, and I was wrong.
I have never seen Erica really just let loose and just have fun. And it's nice and it's refreshing. And you also see someone who is trying to have a moment where they can smile, you know, and maybe get out of their own life for a hot second.
Right.
Obviously, if I see Erica doing something that I think is gonna hurt her or it's wrong or so on, I'd be the first one. It's like I did that night at Garcelle's birthday.
Getting the flowers for his mama. He's getting the flowers for his mama.
And I said, Erica, you know, you said this, and she really wasn't aware of what was going on. And when she really realized it, she was the first to apologize, you know, and truly apologize, I believe.
Absolutely.
That was a tough night. It was supposed to be celebratory. We were all having a good time. I was so happy all my kids were with me. That's my happy place. So for the party to end the way it did, obviously ruffled a lot of feathers.
Erica, you hurt Jax's feeling. Don't talk to him like that. What? You said get the out of here, and that's not okay.
Jax!
And I really had to straddle the line of my son saying, Mom, she's drunk, don't do anything, like not to embarrass him. And then at the same time stepping up to Erica and saying, you can't talk to my kid like that, ever. And so when she first walked into Sutton's luncheon, she didn't say anything.
Ladies, may I say hello? Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Of course, absolutely. Hey, nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Mwah. Mwah.
That kind of pissed me off because I would have wanted her to come to me, beeline to me.
Like off the bat.
Right off the bat and say, I'm sorry. She did send a text, and the text said, I will apologize to Jax whenever he wants, in person, however. And Jax didn't want that.
Because he's a kid.
And, you know, did I take it? Yeah, I took her apology.
I also want to say this. Didn't come from a bad place. It wasn't vicious.
No,
it was just wrong.
Yeah. You know, she said she's going to get a hold of her mixing of, you know, her meds and her drinking. So I believed in that.
When it comes to your kid and like I said, like kids and your husband or your wife, it's like that goes so deep. And no matter how many apologies, you might not be able to resolve that.
When your life blows up and burns down in front of you and everything is out the window, I literally was like, it. And so I just wanted to have a good time. And whatever that meant that night, I was going to do it. And truth be told, it is what it is. And I've apologized to people that I need to apologize, whether they accept those apologies or, you know, not, that's on them, and moving on.
Okay, I had to say really quick. I think this is my frustration with it. It's just such plain hypocrisy. Anyone could see it. All I heard throughout that whole clip were excuses for Erica's behavior at the party. And then they pretty much wrap it up with, I've apologized many times to Garcelle about it. And if she can't accept it and move on from that, that's her problem. So why is everyone, then I feel like everybody else, if that's what their wavelength is, if you apologize to somebody and then that should be it. Why does Rinna get all this space about some damn, what Sutton said about about her and Harry Hamlin not saying thank you at the thing? We still talking about that, and Sutton did apologize many times too.
Ooh,
these things don't apply to everybody,
right?
Like their rules don't apply to everybody. So that's my issue. Like they literally ended it with, if I apologize and I apologize many times, I can only do that, and that's it. And that's literally what Sutton said when she got told to get the fuck out of Rinna's house.
Yeah.
They are so unaware.
Yeah. So Erica is thinking that she still is mad about that. And that is why Not her, not Erica's own behavior. Not the fact that because they've never seen Erica act like this in all the years they've known her. Not the fact that she's been blackout drunk 3 times when she's never been blackout drunk before once. Not because they should be a little concerned that this is alarming, that she hit her head, threw up. It's time to maybe be like, guys, can we stop pretending like this isn't happening? No. Erica is so used to the way they strategize that she's convinced Garcelle is doing this purely to make her look bad on the show.
Yeah. And that's her friend's fault. She should really look at the show and really think about like, that's her friend's fault, because everything that she learned that Garcelle was saying was secondhand information. None of what Garcelle said was directly to her. So she's getting all of her information from all of her friends. So shame on her fucking friends. Those are not your friends. They're trying to paint it as if Garcelle is seeking revenge and creating a lie and a rumor and defaming her and calling her an alcoholic. But we have so many receipts of the fact that and also Garcelle is not necessarily saying she's an alcoholic. She's saying, do you have a drinking problem? Which is, I think, different. You are using alcohol to numb the pain of what is going on in your life. That is a problem.
Because also it's so crazy.
Fun.
It's so insane. It reminds me of when Portia had her spinoff, there is this huge fight breaks out. The whole entire family physically fights. Portia texts everybody in her family to not discuss it at all on camera. So the producers are so pissed because they're trying to do the obvious thing, which is talk about what happened the night before, the huge thing that happened on camera the night before, but no one's talking about it. And it's like, this is crazy, you guys. We can't pretend it didn't happen. That's basically what Erica expects the women to do about what happened with her drinking the night before or the day before.
It's like, no.
And that's not normal.
Did they give that same grace to Kyle Richards' sister, Kim Richards? No, they didn't.
No, exactly. It's just not a normal thing to do. It's not normal to pretend like it didn't happen, guys. Like, it happened. That's absurd to pretend like the pink elephant isn't in the room. It's right there. We have to talk about it. It's a reality show. It happened on camera. Just like how when a tabloid gets dropped in your lap on camera while you're filming, you're going to talk about it. It's a bummer, but it happened while you're filming.
Which is why I would never be on a reality show. Like, you don't it sucks because something is going on in your life. It's going to get brought up. That is the whole point of these shows.
So Garcelle is having an obvious conversation. Garcelle went and talked to Erica in person, and Erica told her, I can't drink anymore. I talked to Rinna, and I can't drink on these meds, period. End of story. So Garcelle has dinner with Dorit. They talk about various things. And she says, yeah, I had dinner with Erica. And Erica said, I can't drink on these meds. So how is that saying anything that's salacious or creating a false narrative?
Yeah,
that's not.
And honestly, Erica is providing us with all of the information, to be honest, to be fair. I wouldn't even know she's on any medication if she didn't say she was.
Thank you.
She was the one who's openly multiple times. Like, she is so proud of it. I am on Lexapro, and I'm drinking. I know I'm not supposed to. She's saying, guys, no one's digging for this information. Usually when people are being shady, they're trying to dig for the information to bring it to light. She has openly said it, which made it fair game to talk about.
Boom. So she said, Erica says, you just wanted me to have a problem. And Garcelle's like, bitch, you having a problem doesn't change my life in any way. And Erica's like, yeah, it's my life to destroy or build. And Garcelle, then destroy it.
God, Garcelle with the quotes. She was, oh my God, I was so excited to talk to you about this episode. It was
killing me.
The amount of voice notes that I wanted to send you.
Girl. And so Erica goes, let's not coming from a helpful place. It's like, hey, Erica's in a really bad place. And Garcelle goes, no. That is probably the perception you got from the other women you were talking to. I love that she caught that because she's like, you didn't hear it from me. You're hearing it. And then Dorit has to admit that she fucking ran over. She goes, well, we talked and I said to you, Garcelle, she's never been like this. And you said, don't be Kyle. Don't be Kyle. Oh, I was fucking furious. And I knew it. I knew Dorit was a snake.
It's the exact thing that we're like, I've been saying, you've been saying, it's like, it's how they're saying it. She's even overdoing it now. Like, it was like, she did say don't be Kyle twice, but it was like, don't be Kyle.
Don't be Kyle.
It wasn't so dramatic. And there's a difference when you're storytelling.
And what did Garcelle say? She said that she talked to Erica. Erica said, I can't drink on these meds. But Dorit's freaking out because, look, it is true. Once you say something on camera, they will use it. That's why Sutton was so worried about what Crystal had been saying on camera. Exactly. It is real. They do know how this game works. That is true. But Garcelle had the conversation with Erica. She was relaying a conversation she had with Erica.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake. So, but Kyle goes, what's wrong with being Kyle? And Kathy goes, I do hate when people do this, though. Ladies, we're supposed to lift each other up. I'm like, we don't do that. But Dorit is already so fucking furious with Kathy. And the look she gives Kathy here, she's like, Kathy, we have to have real conversations. I'm going to post about it because Dorit gives her a look like she is like, she wanted to kill her. It's like, wow. Okay. Dorit is officially done with Kathy.
Oh yeah.
Done. Erica too. Erica hates Kathy too. This is officially the turn.
Oh yeah. Cause like also earlier in the night, she was like, I think you're right, Garcelle. Like they're all
that was the charity. Oh, it was the charity. That starts where it started when Kathy laughed with Garcelle. Done.
Or even earlier in the evening, or back at Rinna's back at the charity event when Garcelle was like, I wish somebody say I was right, and immediately Kathy was like, I think you're right, and I think she really meant it. And I feel like they all have been like tallying up the fact that, and I think that they're also really intimidated by that because that is like having a nuclear bomb as like an ally, having Kathy Hilton as an ally.
Oh yeah,
and I think that they're like immediately need to destroy her.
100%. Oh God,
take away her nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So then Kyle, like they were having a whole different kind of conversation, but Kyle probably wants to shift it. So she's like, I'm going to tell you right now that Erica and Sutton, there's a love-hate, and you two probably just need to start over. Kyle, shut the fuck up. Like what? They weren't even having a conversation. What are you talking about? And Sutton to Erica, because Sutton is just, she's not Garcelle. She goes, Erica, I'm going to call you and I'm going to let you know what's going on. And Erica goes, please don't. You just walked right into that, Sutton. Like you just don't have it down.
It reminded me of the first episode when Sutton tried to give her a handshake and Erica's like, fuck no.
Yeah. Like, don't, you're so close.
The leave you hanging moment.
Yeah. Just you're so close. And then and so Kathy leans into Garcelle and she's like, boy, did I get snapped at about the toothless and homeless situation. Toothless, homeless, toothless. I'm going to call you tonight. Garcelle goes, I'm not going to pick up. But next week we get Aspen. They are on their way to Aspen. This is the trip that's been talked about. And so Garcelle unfollowed Erica and was asked about it. This was while they were filming. And Garcelle had said that Erica called her something that she didn't like. And we've been speculating for months what it is. And now we know that it was being called a liar. she don't take. I don't blame her because one thing Garcelle is a liar. Garcelle said to Erica's own face, "Yeah, you're right. I don't believe everything you said." Fuck. I would never do that. I'm not that bold.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't think I would have done that either.
I don't have that level of integrity. I'd be like, no, I do. I'd be scared and people please.
Honestly, like some people might be like, that's what it is that she called you a liar. No, it's a really big deal because what they're trying to do in a subtle way is plant a seed that Garcelle is not to be trusted. So that when she's pointing things out, you should have doubt. And that's not going to happen with Garcelle because I actually think Garcelle is, for the most part, pretty like level-headed and tries. She, as we've said many times, she really listens, and she will not lie about agreeing with you.
No.
And so for her, because I do think that she truly is not a liar, that was a very big deal for her. The other ladies, if they were been called a liar, like, I don't think that would have been like a big deal.
Well, no, for Erica, that's a huge. Remember how you call Erica a liar? Look what she does.
Yeah. But like, and it's so funny. Like, I'm going to use Lisa Rinna as an example. She blew up because Erica is a fucking liar. And she got so angry, like crazily angry because she is a liar. Garcelle didn't get angry. She was just hurt. And she was like, I don't want you in my life.
Yeah. She was like, we're done.
That's not like her being like lashing out. Like,
You're right.
And Lisa Rinna, like, I'm just done. Like, I can't have someone like that in my life.
You want to know? That's more powerful.
I made the decision. I just don't want to have somebody in my life like that. We do not have to be friends.
More powerful.
People hate that shit, you know?
That's true.
Because they want to argue with you. They want to keep the toxic relationship going because it makes them feel good. You will get no more of my energy.
Actually, you know, the more I think about it, like, think of how Erica acted when Sutton called her a liar or implied she was lying.
Even when Teddy did a pretend amnesia, like,
I mean, Jesus.
Like,
so
the tongue lashings that they've all had to go through with Erica, the tongue lashings.
So please. All right, it's time for the big announcement, everybody. So I was approached by Cloud 10 Media. They love the pod and feel that it should just be way bigger than it is. So they have partnered with She Speaks Bravo to grow this thing to levels I could never. So I am officially a part of the Cloud 10 and iHeart family. And we're big time, baby. We are big time. So you will be hearing me. I've got sponsors now, honey. Well, not a lot. Not a lot, but it's happened. This is just the beginning, baby. This is just the beginning. Dreams have come true. I love them so far. Like, they've welcomed me. They're so awesome. It's a great company, but they're real deal. They're big time. Ryan Bailey is with them. I've already checked in with him. He has nothing but good things to say. I kind of like checked with him first. I was like, do you like them? He's like, love. It's been a very fun week. Last week was not so great. This week, fantastic.
Oh my gosh. And this couldn't have come in at better time for you.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not surprised. From the inception of your Instagram and your podcast and your YouTube channel, like, you work so hard. I said this to you a million times. I do not know how you roll out the content and the amounts and quantity and quality that you do on a daily basis.
Thank you.
And even when she was taking her mental health break, she was still working, guys. She can't help her. She can't help herself because she loves this community so much. And I'm so proud of you. Like, and you well deserved. And I know you're going to be like leaps and bounds. You're going to be so huge. So congratulations. I think we're all congratulating you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I think it's bigger for the people who've been here from the beginning, because this thing started out as just truly like an exercise in growing my self-confidence. Like, I just was like, I don't even care if like 4 people listen to this thing. I just need to get it out so I can like feel better about myself. So the fact that it's grown at all is cool. But the fact that someone who's, legit heard it and was like, no, girl, this is good. It's been a nice little ego boost. And, it's going straight to my head. Fuck you, little people. I'm out.
Oh my gosh. Should we sometime this week go to Tom to celebrate or something? I don't know.
Oh my God. Totally. We should
have a drink. I will not, or actually,
I'll have a mocktail.
I'll actually have a mocktail too, because I'm trying to do dry out until October. I'm trying to do a little
cleansey.
Yeah. Cause a lot of drinking on this.
Oh, I'm sure. The Tulum trip looked so fun.
Yeah. Let's have a mocktail at Tom.
Okay. Done. I'll let him know. I'm like, guys, I'm major now. Okay. Big time over here. Yeah. So I'm sure with, as it grows, there will be things that have to be adjusted. I'm sure I'll need to make some changes. I don't know, just to accommodate. But to anybody who's been following me from day one, just thank you. Love you. Mean it, truly. And there's the big announcement, guys. Woo! But it only means better stuff from now on, better production quality eventually. Once this thing starts to go and I can make a little money off of it. I mean, I never thought for a split second my life would turn into this. I never thought my vast knowledge of Bravo would make me money.
I mean, isn't
that crazy?
But it's
did you?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do what you've accomplished. Again, guys, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's not just watching a show and talking and then putting a post. You should I'm looking at you guys, these are 8 pages of show notes that Emily wrote up. And they're so detailed. This is what you would have to turn in at for a paper.
Oh my God.
College.
I felt when I put together the post on the page, the page Craig Naomi thing. When I put that post together, I was like, this is literally a presentation that I would give in a college course to a professor.
I feel like they do have a college course somewhere that. I'm not sure if it's
they should.
Bravo, but I think it might be reality TV or something.
I would pass that with flying colors.
Right? My vast knowledge of all of those shows.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I also want to quickly say that with the Paris Hilton thing, the queen of reality, I would say, she really knows how to stir the pot. So I was just
stir it up.
Yeah, I was just living for that.
What's so interesting to me about Paris Hilton doing that is she's so close with Kyle's daughters.
I thought about that too, and I wondered how that would affect their dynamic. But they fall out all the, not her and Farrah, but that family, they're so used to falling out with each other and then falling back in that I don't think that they care. They're that savage. That's and
right.
Yeah.
They just have they just know how to. Maybe they just get that. That's what PR is. You put a little salacious tweet out there and you get a little buzz going and then you move on and go to dinner.
But that picture, Paris, I know that she didn't edit that picture, but Paris just even putting that on her page with the specific ladies that she put on, which are the underdogs of the show, was a powerful thing. Paris Hilton can move mountains.
Oh yeah.
She could have just single-handedly changed people's perspective that are diehard Kyle, Erica fans with that simple tweet. It's that fucking powerful. I feel like she has the Infinity Stones or some shit.
100%.
Oh yeah. That was a fucking
power move.
That was a power move. Ooh,
loved it. I know. You're right. No, she's just shifted something. She just she just shifted energies, and I'm curious to see how much everything is affected.
And that is a big deal because Kyle loves to talk about that Paris is her niece.
Oh God, yeah.
And how that Paris was her baby when she was growing up. So for her not to be included in that is actually super huge, guys.
Big time. It also says a lot about what's to come, what happens this season. like in the rest of these episodes, because it must be pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're finally getting to Aspen, and I want to see what this like
this big moment. Yep.
Oh,
big meltdown.
I am sorry, guys. I mean, without seeing the episode, and again, I'm always willing to change, but this is what I predict I'm going to think about in the episodes coming up with whatever this thing that Kathy has allegedly done. I think that that this is a calculated and concocted conspiracy against Kathy Hilton by the Fox Force 5 to take her down, to take Garcelle and Sutton's like nuclear bomb. That's what I'm calling her, and destroying her credibility. So that is what I feel without seeing anything and gathering clues. And and you know what? I'm not going to be married to it. It's just my like prediction. So
I'm right there with you, because the people we're hearing this information from so far when they show the trailer is just Diana, Erica, and Rinna. The least, in my opinion, the least credible people on the show.
I agree. So
Diana,
Diana. I don't believe Diana at all. She's irrelevant. I forget she's on the show half of the time. She's like asleep most of the episode.
Like, no, I don't believe her for a second. She just, and you can see when she was watching that whole thing happen, she just goes along with whatever Rena and Erica need her to do.
Yeah, she thinks she's more of a boss than she is, but she's really boring. Sheree started up strong, but she's starting to fizzle out for me.
Fizzling, very much.
Yeah, she's fizzling. I'm not done with her, but she's gonna have to. I feel like she at one point, and I kind of like, I will have to apologize to my mom, because my mom actually said to me, she was like, I don't think I like Sheree. And I said, what?
Oh, mother? We need to talk about, did you ever watch that clip I posted?
I did.
How do we feel about it? Because I said we would talk about it this week.
I feel like she made a decision that she thought that she wants to be on the show. And I think she definitely wants to be a full-time member. And I think that she was trying to play a strategy game, and she's not going to go against Garcelle, but she doesn't give a shit about Sutton. So I think that she thinks it would be a smarter move to be on kind of more of the Fox Force 5 side without like saying that. I think she's kind of playing a Dorit game, which I'm not like loving.
That's how I felt too. It's like she saw that all of that, there's more of them than there are Sutton and Garcelle.
Yeah. But so I don't think she's like, going to go against Garcelle, but
exactly
she has absolutely no loyalty.
She wants Garcelle to be in with them so they can all be friends.
Yeah. And she's pretty much like, just leave Sutton behind. Like, who is she? Like, that's that's the energy I'm kind of feeling.
That's what I got too.
But Garcelle just doesn't roll like that.
And Garcelle's like, nope, I'm just on, because Garcelle sits and observes and responds appropriately. She doesn't get sucked into it, as where we've seen Sheree a few times kind of kissing, like she's being really nice to Rinna at Rinna's wine event.
That's what my mom said. And I was like, I was still kind of holding on to like the energy she brought in the first couple episodes. And I was like, no, mom, she's just trying to keep an open mind. And Garcelle told her to do that. But that with that clip and then the past couple of episodes, I'm like, one, you're not really bringing much because you're too afraid to talk.
But she's like, here we go. When she joked with, like, after Garcelle had that conversation with Erica, that tough conversation, like, you don't disrespect my kid. And then Sheree goes, but were you the one that said you wanted to have a threesome with Oliver? Because me too.
Yeah.
I didn't love that, but we like made an excuse for it.
We did.
Then she was trying really hard to be a peacemaker with Kyle and Garcelle at that with that like cocktail lunch thing about Erica's drinking. Didn't love it, but okay. Then at the wine tasting at Rinna's, she was like, Rinna, you're so maternal and caring and blah, 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 blah. Like was going way over the top. Like,
it was just like, it was weird.
So, all right, Sheree, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not writing her off, but I think that she needs to do a quick course correct.
Yeah. Like the reunion's going to be very telling.
I think the reunion's her audition.
Exactly.
So she should figure it out. And she should really do her research, and she should really see what the fans are wanting. And she needs to make a splash, because there are already too many people that are kissing each other's ass on that side. You're actually going to get really lost in the shuffle. You're actually stand out more if you went against the grain. But you have to, and I'm like, girl, I don't think you need to be afraid of these like women. They don't know how to, their reads are weak at best.
Weak reads.
You can take them, girl. Don't be afraid.
Exactly. Like, realize your power.
And honestly, if they like, this is what always gets me annoyed. Like when I watch like the real world RHOBH challenge, or they just call it the challenge now. It's people wanting, people always do the fail safe. Like they were like, the people who are always winning, I'm going to latch onto them. I'm like, if all of the underdogs just came together and really came together, like Crystal, Sutton, Garcelle, Kathy, you are pretty close.
That's what I keep needing that to happen.
Yeah, sure. Like, and did I say Sheree? That would be, was that 5?
Crystal, Sheree, Garcelle, Sutton, Kat. Yep, 5.
It's 5 people, guys.
Yep.
You'd be unstoppable.
Make it happen.
Look at the Garcelle has been like by herself fighting 5 women, knocking them down.
Like, what a power dynamic that is.
You got Kathy with the funniest zingers.
You got Sutton's
all the
just
power.
Like,
she has Kathy has the power to erase the internet. Did you know?
Sutton's like a planet out of orbit, just like running around. You don't know where she's
a little tornado.
You don't know where she's coming from. You're like, well, she's somewhere.
Yeah.
Crystal with the control over her words, so careful that you can't shake her.
It's like, guys, you have all of the ingredients. Fucking go make it.
Crystal needs to drop Diana now. Drop her.
Diana's a liability in my opinion.
Diana is a liability. Okay, so let's make that fucking happen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. Okay. Thank you all so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. And follow Piaget at PiagetV. And oh yeah, guys, I mean, I sound very, very popular right now, but my DMs are starting to get a little wild. And Pia was actually able to see some DMs that I didn't. So if you've got something you want us to talk about on the pod, she may be a better person to DM. Either email me at shespeaksbravo@gmail.com or shoot Pia a DM, because Pia, honestly, follow Pia though. She's got some glamorous content over there. Okay, guys, love you, mean it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.